Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at Drop Drive. Drop Drive is designed by Scott R. Smith, and it is published by Phase Shift Games. This is going to be a 2 to 5 player game that takes about 45 minutes to play. And then this game, you're going to be playing through a galaxy. You're going to be playing through a galaxy that is going to be uniquely generated every game. And you're going to be jumping through different parts of the galaxy, flying through to collect resources and sell them. And you might notice that this game is going to be similar to, in look at least, and function to Dungeon Drop. Now there's a lot of mechanical differences between the two, but Dungeon Drop was their first game and this is their second game. So let's go ahead down to the table here and I'm going to show you how to play Drop Drive. All right, so this is Drop Drive. Gather your crew and prepare to explore the vast reaches of infinite space. Your newly installed rocket drive will aid in mining valuable resources from nearby asteroids, while your experimental drop drive will let you jump to distant and unknown depths of space, orbit strange worlds and sell your cargo, and pick up passengers and collect alien specimens, all while battling unscrupulous pirates hell-bent on profiting off your tireless efforts. It's time to drop into infinite space. Okay, to start the game and set it up, it's pretty easy. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to be placing out this barrier here and placing the sun in the middle. You also, for your first game here, be putting out the basic side of all these 5 different planets, and later on in advanced games you can put out this side to have a little bit more of more difficult of a game. Now I will also mention there's a ton of modules that come with this version of Drop Drive. I'm not going to go over there, but there's a lot of replayability just in those. A lot of different things happening, a lot of really cool mechanisms in those. So just mentioning that there are a lot of expansions that come with the base game that I got here. Now, you will be giving out these Drop Drive pieces here to each of the players in their color, their die, their pirate in their color, or sorry, this is the pirate in their color, and their ship. You also shuffle up these different decks here. There is this Explore deck right here. You're going to shuffle that up. You're also going to shuffle up the ship cards. So this is going to be ship card fronts, and this is going to be the ship card backs here. You'll shuffle those up. And you're going to go ahead and shuffle up these anomaly cards too. You'll put all the credits here so everyone can get to them. And you'll have a little stack of these captain tiles. In addition to this, these market demand tokens, you're going to have 4 per player. So if you're playing in a 5-player game, you're going to have 20 of these buggers available during the game. And what these market tokens, demand tokens do, these are going to be the trigger for the end of the game. So you'll have 4 per player is what you're going to place out of those. All right. Now you're ready to set up for your players. So the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to get all of your pieces that I mentioned for your color there. The next thing that's going to happen is you're going to get 2 fronts here and 2 backs. And you're going to pick which front and back that you want to use throughout the game. Now there's a couple different things you're going to be looking at. So in the front here, this is going to be your battle rating. This is going to be your modifier for when you roll your dice in combat. So a +4 is really good. This one's going to be a +0. This is where you can use your drop drive. So this one, drop drive, means that you're going to only be able to use your drop drive near other ships that are on the board. This one here means that you can use your drop drive by ships or planets. And there's some with an infinity symbol on there. And that means that you can use your drop drive anywhere you want on the board. On this other side here, you are going to have a couple different things. You're going to have your Explore rating. So this one will have Explore. So basically how many Explore cards. You have 1 and 3 here. This is also going to be your drop drive, how high it is. The higher the number here, the harder it is to be able to be accurate with where you're dropping your ship at, because you'll be dropping your ship from a higher height than there. So you're going to pick these. Other things that are going to be on this card here is these are going to show you how many specimens you can have. So this one can do 2 specimens, this can do 1. And on this side here we have one that can do 2 specimens, and here can do 1. Now specimens are going to be used for end game scoring, and they can be important to you, or you can do other sort of objectives in here. So now you'll notice that this is going to have this has a much higher explore rating but less specimens. This has a lower explore rating. I think that I'm going to pick this one because I also have a good amount of cargo space in here, and I'm going to pick this one because I'm going to go, and although I don't get cargo space on this one, so I'm going to pick these because I'm going to go more on the specimens. The next thing that's going to happen during setup is you're going to get 3 of these explore cards here. Now these explore cards, you will go ahead and pick 2 of them. So this is going to be what you're going to place in between the ship here, and these are specimens, and this is a crew member. So I'm going to get 2 of these. Now if I pick the specimen will just get placed in one of these little slots right here, and the specimen will give different abilities throughout the game, and sometimes end game scoring for it too. Now if I pick this, this will go in between. So right now my ship is the Rogue Kraken, and now it'll be the Rogue Outlaw Kraken, and this also gives me a bonus that I can use throughout the game. So I get +1 to battle rating and gain 2 credits for winning battles. Now I already have +4 out of here. This would be a really good one to have, so I'm definitely going to pick up that. So I am now going to be the Rogue Outlaw Kraken. Now crew members, this is Demi, Driver, Engineer. You're going to put off to the side there if you pick these ones. And these ones here will gain 2 credits for each undamaged upgrade on your ship. So I'm pretty powerful in fighting. I might want to pick this up because I'm going to probably just keep on upgrading my ship and keep on doing battle throughout the game. The last thing for setup really is going to be you're going to get this random captain, and the captain's going to give you a bonus in here. I definitely really like this one because I'm going to get +1 to battle, which is really cool because I have a 4 that gives me a 5. I'm going to pretty much be very dominant in battling, and I'm going to get +1 to my explore rating, which is really low, so that's also very helpful. This is a really good startup for that. Now the final thing for your setup is you're going to do a big bang. So the game doesn't come with a cup to put your pieces in, but you're going to gather up all your pieces and you're going to drop them onto this sun that's in the middle of the board, and you're going to have your board. Now if there's anything touching the sun, you can redrop it, but now you have your pieces out on the board. All right, now you're going to go ahead and set your ship on your matching color planet there. So green will go on green, blue will go on blue, and so on. You will also want to set up your drop drive to the number that you have for it. So in my case, my drop drive level is 4, so I'll put 4 of these together. Yeah, 4 of these together for my drop drive. This is how far that I have to drop my ship also, but it's also how far I can move if I decide to move. So where you might have a higher drop drive, and it's worse for doing the drop drive portion on it, but it's better for moving around in the galaxy itself. In addition to that, you're actually going to start the game with 1 fuel cell, which I should have took out from here, but you'll have 1 fuel cell there, and you need the fuel cell to fire your drop drive. All right, so the game's going to continue on until we run out of these market tokens. And I'm going to show you how that happens in a little bit, but you're going to take turns and go around and around until you run out of these tokens. When you run out of these tokens, you're going to do 1 last round and then the game will end. So a player's turn is made up of 3 steps. You can activate a pirate, activate your drop drive, and activate your rockets. Now, activate your pirate will mean that your pirate is going to race towards its color and grab one of the gems. Now these different gems here are going to be currency throughout the game. And the way that you win the game is having the most credits by the end of the game. And there's multiple different ways to do that, but the number one way in the game is going to be gathering these gems up and sending them out and selling them at the different planets, which I'll show you in a second here. Now, if you don't have one currently in space, then you're going to activate your pirate. So I'm going to take my pirate and about 6 inches from the sun, drop it, and it's going to fly off. Now, if it touches, in this case, it touched a color gem that it has, then you're going to go ahead and place it on the corresponding planet. So this is the green planet, and this is going to place the green gem on it. And we'll go over some of that stuff in a little bit. But one thing to note is, as the game goes by, if there's no color gems that match the pirate that you have out there, then all the gems on the planet are going to be placed out on the board. And also to mention that this is a closed system. So as you spend these different resources throughout the game, they're going to be placed back into space. You just drop them 6 inches from the sun there to replace them back out on the board. So let's say it's another turn later, and my first step I would have been activating pirates, and since this was already one out, he would have flown over and got the nearest color resource that matches that pirate. And that's how that first part of your three-step turn works. The second part is you can activate your drop drive. This is optional. And if you optionally do it, you have to have fuel to do it. So if you're going to spend your fuel, spend your fuel and you drop it back in there. And then you're going to take a look at your restriction for using your drop drive. In this case, I have to do it near another ship. So let's say this ship's over here. So we'll show you so you can see it. And I want to jump there. So I can go there, and then I'm going to straighten out my drop drive. And I'm going to place my drop drive up like this. And then I'm going to drop my ship from there. So I hit my own hand there. And that is going to be where it goes. And that's how a drop drive is functions. And you don't have to do this. You can just skip that phase if you don't want to be dropped anywhere else. The last thing you can do is activate your rocket drive. So for activate your rocket drive, you're going to basically use your drop drive measuring stick here, and you're going to place it, and you're going to make a path, and then along your path there, everything that you cross you'll be able to pick up. Now you have limited slots on your ship. Once these are full, you can freely jettison one for another, but you can only have that as a limited number of resources on your card. And if you go over and jettison anything, you'll drop it down into the sun. So you're going to pick up anything that you go over top of. If you go near or touch a planet, so if I go here and near and touch it, I'll land on the planet. Now, the planet side stuff, so this is going to be the pink planet, you'll be able to sell your gems. Now, you can sell as many as you want of the colors here, but if I sell blue here, I will get 4 space bucks per blue resource I trade in, and I will then put one of these tokens on it. And that's how the end game goes in here. The more you trade, the more these are going to come out, the faster the game will end. This will make it unavailable for everyone else, but this will be the last one that's available. And notice in this case, it's worth more. So blue will be worth more further on. You also get to explore. You'll take a look at your explore rating on your ship, and that's how many cards you get to draw and place them out. Like I said, you could get specimens for bonuses or end game bonuses or bonuses during the game. You can get upgrades for your ship. You can get new crew that you can use throughout the game, and so on. You could also repair your ship instead of explore. But that's basically, in really quick nutshell, how you're going to be doing the planet interactions. And I will mention real quick that at the end of the round, once these are all full, everyone gets one more turn, but they only get to do emergency landings. So they'll land at the nearest planet and do that to get their last couple points that they can get. Also to notice that each of the planets have a color, and their color is not available because they don't want to buy it. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Other things that can happen when you activate your rocket drive and fly around is if you run into a pirate ship. So if this pirate ship's on here, we can run into the pirate ship and fight. In that case, you're going to roll your die and another die, and the higher number wins. Now, one cool thing about this is you're going to be able to use your modifier. And if you win, you'll take out the ship. It'll go back to that player. And you'll be able to collect any gems that were collected by that pirate and put it into your hold as long as you have room. And that's a really good way of getting a large amount of resources potentially later in the game for your points and stuff. And also the other thing you can do is you can fight another player. So when you fight another player, you're both going to roll. You're both going to use your battle enhancements if you have any. And the difference is how much damage a ship's going to take. And when you take damage, you're going to be flipping over your upgrades and stuff, and those will be unavailable until you repair. So damage can be really deadly in this game. Also, if you have all your stuff flipped over and you're unable to flip anything more over to make these points, you're going to lose all your cargo, which is really, really bad. And it's very important to note that if you land on a ship and you had the choice where you could do explore or repair, when you do repair, you just repair everything. So you get to repair all your flipped over stuff. So that's also important. But in a real quick nutshell, that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be flying through this galaxy here, picking up resources, selling them to the different planets, redropping in there, trying to gain as many credits as you possibly can before the end game is triggered by all these market tokens being placed out that were set up at the beginning of the game. So yeah, let's go ahead back up to the table here, and I'm going to go ahead and give you my final thoughts on Drop Drive. All right, so that was Drop Drive. The component quality for this game is pretty good. I like all the little pieces. I like the sun that you drop the stuff onto. I like all that stuff. There's only one caveat with the production quality on this game, and I don't like the walls for the game itself. They're very thin and they don't come with anything to hold them together. So you're going to have to find like paper clips or something that you're going to want to hold them together with outside of this game. I sort of wish they were a little thicker, and it would have, you know, it shows this nice like octagonal shape that you can make, and it's really not possible with the pieces they have in there. They're too flimsy. So it's fine. I mean, it's still a functional game that you can play with, and you can replace these with, if you really like the game, with some of your very own wall pieces that are much more substantial, or maybe 3D print some. That part's fine. The gameplay itself is really fun. It's really fast. So this is a game that you can easily teach. The board setup's really easy. You just drop the pieces on the board and you're ready to go. The turns that you take matter in the game, so it's really cool to try to race after these resources, but try to make sure you're within a good distance of a planet, using the drop drive when appropriate, because you're going to spend fuel to do that. Lots of really cool decisions that you can make in this game. So if you like Dungeon Drop, you're probably really going to like Drop Drive. You're going to probably really enjoy it. So you're not really plowing through a dungeon like you were in Dungeon Drop, but you're going through and exploring space with Drop Drive, and it really feels like you're doing that. So I really appreciate the game, and I really like this game. It's super easy to teach, super easy to get down to the table and play real quick, easy to clean up. Just scoop the stuff up, put it in a bag, you're ready to go. So I highly recommend Drop Drive. If you liked what I showed you in the overview, you definitely should check this out. If you like Dungeon Drop, I also recommend checking this out. And that's my thoughts on Drop Drive. Thank you for watching.